When you talk about the opportunity in healthcare, I think it's very important to focus on what we've been talking about a lot today, which is how underserved the Indian population is. I realize that there are challenges around affordability, access, awareness, and all of those things that we've talked about today. But the largest opportunity that exists, according to me, and I think what we heard a lot of today as well, is the fact that we're hugely underserved. If you look at the number of beds per population, if you look at the number of doctors, from our point, and Healthium being a surgical consumable company, we know for a fact that the penetration of surgery in India is very low. Now, this is not when compared to economies of similar size to India, but even if I look at the same per capita GDP, we have a long way to go. So I am extremely bullish about the fact that we as a nation will get healthier. We will find more and more avenues to provide surgical interventions, and with that, our industry will grow. So that's a very interesting one. You know, we realize at Healthium that there is a patient at the end of each one of our products. Our approach is extremely patient-centric. What we talked about today is the fact that we have all international accreditations, and the same product that we make available to India is available to patients across 80 countries. I am all for regulation, and like I said, we know that there's a patient at the end of each one of our products. What we would like is a more inclusive and collaborative approach towards regulation in medical devices. As I mentioned, we are already compliant with the medical device regulations all over the world in developed economies, and we will obviously be compliant in India as well. So a more collaborative, inclusive approach, and the corollary to that would be that it should be in a staged, gradual manner, so every part of the industry could comply. That would be my request in an area like this. Robotics has tremendous value, right? It removes the tremor in a hand of a surgeon. It effectively does away with any sort of human error, which could happen, right? I mean, I'm not saying that it does happen, but if that could happen, robotics would help there. We also know now with remote surgery, etc., coming up, you could have a surgeon sitting in Mumbai and treating a patient anywhere in the world with the way in which this is coming in. I do believe, though, that robotics today is a bit like laparoscopic surgery was maybe 25, 30 years ago. There is a learning curve. There is a huge cost of acquisition of the equipment, etc. And I believe that, like we've seen with laparoscopy and other technology that comes in, this too will be a trend that would emerge, but definitely there is a benefit to the patient with that. You also talked about AI. Very, very interesting, because at the end of the day, we are seeing now that in India, there's a huge amount of data available, right? The National Digital Health Mission, one of the key objectives is to ensure that patient data is actually not limited to a particular hospital or a doctor, etc. It is specific to the patient, right? That's very important. AI, machine learning, I believe, has a tremendous opportunity in a country like India to ensure that the right treatment protocol is provided to the appropriate patient. We will see this emerging in diagnostics, etc. And with more and more telemedicine, remote care coming in, I think today, in the far corners of the country, we could be able to provide the best choice of treatment if this is followed well. As an organization, we also use big data, and Healthium has, as I mentioned earlier today, probably the largest medtech field force. We have coverage to more than 40,000 customers, and we access about 18,000 hospitals. We have also got a field force that is today on a device. We are able to track all of our interactions with customers, and we also use all of this data and leverage that intelligence to better serve our customers so that they in turn can better serve the patients that they operate on.